Welcome to a very hot, sunny day in the trash area at ICI. My name is Catherine Medrano, and we're going to talk trash today. To my right is where general trash goes. In front of me is compost. To my left, the brown container is where grease goes. Behind me, we have recycling. And off to my right, in this blue bin over here, is where linens go. We'll talk about each one individually so that you have an idea of where things go. I want to encourage you that if you don't know, if you don't remember from the time you watch this video till you walk out here, please read. All of the containers all have some kind of description on them as to what they hold, what can go inside of it. These compost containers, when you empty the compost that's under the tables in your classroom, the brown compost containers, they go in here. There's a fill line on them. We cannot fill these containers past the fill line. The labels on the top tell you where those fill lines are. It's very important. They can't pick it up if it's filled past the fill line. If they can't pick it up, it stays here. If it stays here, it attracts pests. If it attracts pests, you don't want to come out here and put out the trash. Trust me. So do not overfill. Make sure you're paying attention to what goes into compost, because we don't put things that an animal can't eat, something that can't be turned into compost. We can't put that into the compost container. No plastic wrap, no plastic spoons. These things don't go into compost. This is the grease container. If you lift this lid and look inside, you can see that this has a little bit of a drain or a strainer of sorts in here. So it'll catch. If you throw some bones in there, or if you throw a carcass of some kind, it'll catch it in there. The only thing that goes inside here is used spent grease. Absolutely nothing else goes in here. When we come out and we open this up and we find something sitting on top of that strainer that didn't get put into the proper place, we know that there's probably something else inside of the machine, and we're going to wind up with a fine from the company that collects the grease. Nothing but grease goes in here. Spent grease. That's the only thing that goes in here. Behind me, the recycling containers, very well labeled, and tells you exactly what should be in here and what should not be in here. If you break a ceramic plate, it shouldn't go in here. You have to read the label. You have to know what goes in here and what doesn't go in here. Most of what we put in here has that triangle on it, the recycling triangle with all of the arrows that lead to the next line and a number on the inside of it. And you can see that right on the top here. These labels tell you what can go in here. And over here in the blue container, this is for linens, the linens that come from Fowler Kitchen and Fowler Dining Room. All of our side towels, and then aprons that are used by the chefs that go into those bins, into those containers. The green and white, they're kind of a fiber bag that you take out of each classroom. Those are the ones that go in here. This big green container that we have right here, the top opens. It can come all the way back. It's a nice light top, so you're not struggling with a bag and the top at the same time. You can open the top, or you can just hold the top and put your bag in. But what goes in here is what goes into the trash cans in your classroom. So the black garbage bag lined trash cans that get tied up and leave the classroom and get rolled out here, that's what goes into this container. It has to be inside of a bag when it goes in here. Please make sure it's inside of a bag. If you have any questions on how to do the trash, please make sure you ask questions. It has to go in the right place. We are on the loading dock outside the back door of the building where we take all of our classes. This is the cardboard container. When we ask you to take the cardboard out to the loading dock, this is where we expect that you're headed. The cardboard that goes in here, it should all be broken down as flat as possible when it goes in here. You don't want to put any cardboard in here that's wax covered. So a lot of times our chickens will come in a wax lined box. They don't go in here. They go in the regular trash. It's just regular cardboard broken down that goes in here. And we also have something pretty unique and very, very helpful considering we're a culinary school. This is what we call an acid bath out here on the loading dock. Not quite as scary as it sounds, but you do need to be very careful with it. These gloves are in Fowler all of the time. If you're going to come out here and do anything with this acid bath, you'll want these gloves with you. The acid bath plugs in on the back side. We use this for aluminum and stainless steel when we have really, really caked on food, something that's turned it, whether you've burned something to the bottom of the pan, or maybe it's a sheet pan that's just sat in the bottom of an oven for maybe a whole semester. Something that's really caked on, really, really dirty that you need to get clean goes in the acid bath. When you come out here, gloves on, and lift the lid. When you lift the lid, let it drain over the top, and then put the top on the floor. Whatever you're going to put in here gets dropped right into the tank. Let it sink to the bottom. If the water level inside the tank is low, if it's less than half, it can come back up to 3/4. It's just a matter of plugging in a hose over here, running the hose over, and filling up the tank to about 3/4 of the way. If we allow the water level to go down too far, the tank can't do its job. We can't put anything into it. And if we don't keep the lid on securely, it allows the tank to, or the water in the tank to evaporate, and we definitely don't want that. It gets changed out every single month, and when we see that the water level is low, the tank can't do its job. So we make sure that we keep the water level high. You always want to put the top back on. Make sure it's nice and snug. Push it down. And that's all you got to do with it. You can come back in 24 hours and whatever you have in there most likely is going to be shiny clean.